whole corporation that owns and runs this place is a pack of dicks.
Get away!
Oh, who said that?
Here we go!
There we go. That's how we fight stuff.
I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise.
Oh, brutal. Look at this holographic shroud. Captain's quarters. Hey, we got a nice view. How are we doing, everyone? Time to kick on with our third ever stream. Thank you for everyone who's been tuning in and giving me some positive feedback. We're making some slight changes every now and again just to keep improving it, and that will continue over the next couple of weeks. We're kicking on into the Outer Worlds. In the meantime, between streams, I've gone through, cleaned up some of my gear, learnt how to actually tinker and upgrade my gear. And now we are faring a bit more like an actual space cowboy with pistols and stuff that are actually going to work. So let's jump back into the game and see where we are at. Alrighty, so you can see Parvati is geared up now. So she's geared up with heavy armor, heavy sledgehammer, and also the big heavy shock weapon that I was using before. I'm geared up with, what I'm going to show you in here. Melee, plasma sword, electric pistol, plasma pistol, and of course a snipey pistol. My gear is also a bit more in tune. I've got the beautiful baby blue and pink outfit on, but it should serve us well for the combat and stuff that we need to get done. So, what were we going to do next? Ali Mae says that she looks like a transformer, but yeah, she does, but it's like a cool transformer though. Badass transformer. Alright, so we didn't have much left. So we did all our side quests. So we spoke to the deserters in their little, what's it called? The Botanical Gardens or whatever. And they seem like genuinely good people. The local town seems absolutely terribly miserable and everyone's getting sick. The whole corporation that owns and runs this place is a pack of dicks. And we have retrieved the logic unit for the guy who hates robots. We've repaired a couple of robots. We've killed a whole bunch of robots. We collected all the bounties for all the really badass bandits in the area. So there's not much left for us to do. We're going to go into the power plant. We have to make a choice to divert power to either the corrupted town and the cannery, or the escapees in the botanical gardens that they have set up. And then we can get the power regulator thingy and chuck that in our ship and finally get out of here. So, what are we going to be choosing? I think we decided last time. Probably going to divert power to the escapees in the botanical gardens, right? Because corporation in this place sucks. Alright, off we go into the geothermal plant. Hey, that's my new sword. Perfect timing, because now that there's nothing left to fight, we're all geared up for fighting. In we go. Oh, I've also learned how to make Parvati use her special attack move as well, so that'll be fun to watch. May says if we upset the townspeople we'll be fighting. That's possible. Yeah, we'll probably be fighting maybe the security force. Let's see what happens. Alrighty. Redirect power. Warning, safety failures detected. High likelihood of moderate to severe structural damage. Redirecting power is an irreversible procedure. Error. Power redirection function has failed. Manual override required. Please activate all 3 electrical track switches. Of course. Of course it failed. Alright, well, let's go. Figure out where we have to head for this. On the stairs, I guess. Step down. That's neat. Past all the dead robot. No, that's Jeremy. Jeremy, the repaired robot that we helped last. Can it help us anymore?
Mechanicide protocols currently active. Please do not interrupt.
Okay, sorry, man.
Get away!
Oh, who said that? We'll find him.
Get away!
Get away! Can't get away. I need to do this. Important.
Get away!
Dustin. He picked. Right.
Gosh, that's fun.
Few little supplies. Nothing too special. Jeremy the robot absolutely looks like a drunk spider. Ali May on point with the descriptions once again.
You're liable to get scalded.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Oh, there's a dude there. Botanical Labs. Okay. And here. And we're on. Oh, pistol.
Here we go!
There we go. That's how we fight stuff. That's how we use proper gear. She's telling me to watch out, and she's running into the steam herself.
Nice hit. That's the last of them.
Good job. Good job, team. Yep, another terminal. Steam distribution control. I can shut off the I've got enough engineering to shut off these reverse steam valves. Oh, so I probably did not need to hack that door open. Save some resources. Never mind. On we go. Gotcha. Well, we found a terminal, a switch, but we haven't found who was saying that stuff.
If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
No. That's the tricky part. Lemma. Oh, they're everywhere.
Nice one.
But
That's the last of them.
nice one. There we go. That's much better and more effective combat. I did. Grab the loots and keep on going. That one got turned to ash. Well, we must have shocked it pretty hard if we turned metal into ash. Facial mark. They're radiant and beautiful. Yeah. Yes. Seems legit.
That's the last.
Back here again, is it? Before we go out there, we must quickly do mini exploration. For the shinies and the loot. Alright. Oh, that one's barred. Oh, there we go. Did I actually click the bar? Hacking skill too low. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. We encountered this last night. Chester's passcode. I don't know what. Find him. Now we're going back up to the control room up. Silly thing. There we go.
Once we do this, there's no going back.
Duly noted.
Hey,
Thank you.
mister?
Okay.
Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Well, I wouldn't mind hearing your opinion.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
Well, the deserters are a community. Can't just destroy what they built.
Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But
Inspiring, right?
Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
Well, Reed tells me Edgewater's going to die without workers and power.
That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
Yeah, but I'm not sold because everyone's under this dodgy Spacer's Choice corporation, including you, miss.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Glad you did. Do like hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to kill Edgewater, right? Edgewater is, that's the place that's fallen to corporate corruption. Those people are having a rough time. This won't make their lives any better, but it might make them maybe disappear. Settlement. Alrighty, redirect power. Irreversible. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Running at 22% efficiency. Power's been distributed to Edgewater and the Botanical Laboratory. Redirecting is irreversible. Please select a destination. We will redirect to... I've got to go the Botanical Laboratory. They're just doing better things there. We need to rip the band-aid off. Power regulator successfully... No, sorry. Power is successfully redistributed to the Botanical Laboratory. Edgewater power regulator is now safe to remove. Botanical Laboratory is now operating at optimal capacity. Okay. Warning, additional structural power detected. Permanent power failure detected in Edgewater. Notice, blatant disregard for Spacer's Choice property has been logged. Please report yourself to your designated supervisor for an immediate reprimand. How about no, Scott? Right, we did it. Savati, how do you feel?
I can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be alright now they got power, but what about the town? All those people.
People need to go over to the deserters. I'm not going to punish the deserters for breaking free of an oppressive corporation that has no regard for human life. Out here. our log now. We have to go and get our regulator out of. Return to Reed. You diverted Edgewater's power to the Botanical Lab. Reed must be furious. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Okie dokie. Back in this grim town again. Oh, the pretty space night sky. I always get distracted by the pretties. Oh, they've still got emergency power, is it? Something's still lighting things up. Who am I going to have to fight? This
You
guy.
want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
Yeah, to teach? No, not to teach. Listen, because that might be reflecting on the. Well, it's not personal, but I need your power regulator.
That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
Okay, well, I can't intimidate him. What's going to happen to Edgewater?
Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence.
Yeah, see, this place is totally... That's not good. Call off your guards. I don't want them bleeding all over my power regulator.
All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for and then leave us be.
Okay. See, this way I don't have to kill innocent people.
We're done here.
Fighting would be good, but, you know, I don't want to fight people that aren't actually bad guys. Reputation with the deserters, alrighty. And some dead rat. Yoink. Got the power regulator. Turn to the ship. The Unreliable. Let's pay a visit to the laboratory first. See if they've got anything to say to us. Really grateful. They might give us some rewards. They might not.
I put my whole life in that cannery.
You must be very proud.
Are we getting paid or not?
Any loss of productivity will be deducted from your pay.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of bullshit.
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please.
Okay, useful to you. Leave town. Go visit the laboratory and get to our ship and see where we go next. I need to tell them to go into the gardens, yeah. Thank you, tell them. That is correct. That is what we need to tell them. Ali May, no, I can't tell them to go to the gardens, it would seem. Oh yeah, maybe we can tell Adelaide to fetch the people. That's a good point. Get her to make like a peace offering or extend an olive branch or something. What are you going to say, Mr. Sales Dude?
Something I can help you with?
Never mind. It's Adelaide.
You hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the veil like the winds of change. You've done well. I will would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence.
He does take a lot of joy in it. Really have it in for Reed.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Well, you can hate the town all you want, but it's still not going to bring your son back.
Blunt as a hammer. But you're right. Nothing can undo the past. Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go.
Right. Don't sound too... You don't sound too pleased.
I don't look forward to turning folk away. Camp's gotta stay pure, though. Can't have corporate loyalists mixing with us, no matter how desperate they may be.
Come on.
I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life.
Okay. Well, between your camp and Reed's cannery, yours is the better way of life.
You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
Well, I'm allowed here, but not the other guys, eh?
You are welcome here.
I should go. Well, sounds like they're not going to be super helpful to the townspeople either. Well, hopefully the townspeople will abandon the corporation, not become marauders and bandits. Hopefully they just join forces.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post.
No way. Come with us. So you've never been on a ship before? Well, she was standing on a ship at the start of this session. Okay. Those deserters left Edgewater behind. Nothing keeping you from doing the same.
I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing.
Cool.
And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
You just met me. Why would you want to go into space with a stranger?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I had my misgivings about Miss McDevitt and the deserters, but you took pity on them and sent power to their garden even though you knew Mr. Thompson would hate you for it. All this time, you've been determined to get your regulator back, get your ship up and running, and cut a path out of this place. And well, I won in.
Okie dokie. Well, I'd be glad to have you along. Come in and pick a cabin.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now.
Yes. Yes, you can.
I got a captain.
Ready? Jump on board. Yeah, her face is not super expressive, but...
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Oi, what you do?
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
Well, I'd like to know something about those I'm flying with, so what's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
What's a violently enthusiastic disposition?
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Why were you so passionate about it?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
You need to tell me about your religion.
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe.
Right.
Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
A convenient way to control the masses.
It can be if abused, but that can be said about anything. However, in the case of the board and Halcyon, sadly, I believe you are correct.
Okie dokie. Remind me, what are your thoughts on the philosophists?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
Right. So your religion is the boss. Alright, tell me again about that book that we picked up that's in French.
Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
Any ideas when we can find someone who speaks French in this colony?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Okay, well that sounds like a good lead, but how do we find him?
That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
So how is it that a simple vicar happens to be such a highly skilled hacker?
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
How will a crew manifest help us track down your scholar friend?
I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest to track the philosophist's off-world destination.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go.
Thank you, Captain.
But talk to you again.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
Okie dokie. So it seems quite trusting of you just to sign on without knowing anything about me.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
What if the book doesn't have the answers that you're looking for?
I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story?
Okay, well, I was a colonist on the Hope, and a scientist named Wells. Wells? Yes, Wells. He saved me.
And how did he do that?
Well, he stole my body from the Hope at the edge of the colony and thawed me out.
Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now?
Well, I'm helping him recover more of the chemicals he needs to save the rest of the colonists.
That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
Well, I guess it's the right thing to do.
A commendable attitude.
Alright, let's talk about this quest of yours.
Of course. Are you ready to break into security on the Groundbreaker?
Well, not just yet.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise.
Oh, brutal.
What can I do for you, Captain?
I have a power regulator.
Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Plug it in. Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Yep. I'll be back. So, we're a space cowboy with an enthusiastic young mechanic and a priest on board. Sound like anything you've heard of before? A glowing insect? Maybe a firefly? Yeah, the computer's real sassy. Ada. Ada is a name. I'm assuming that stands for something. Advanced... somethingness? Alright, Ada. What next?
What can I do for you, Captain?
Well, I've installed the power regulator.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Alright, let's get out of here. Hey mate, did you hear someone say smegging? Like Red Dwarf.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Alright, good. I've been wanting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
I've been feeling a little lightheaded, and now I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Okay. Why do I need a nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly. and almost completely lawless. You'll love it.
Sounds fun.
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kilkelly.
What's stopping me from just leaving Halcyon altogether?
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the hope.
Okay. Well, this Gladys person, how do I know I can trust her?
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
I land somewhere outside of Stellar Bay.
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me. Talk to Gladys Kilkelly.
Fine, I'll go have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
Ooh, alright. Do you want to explain what that thing is?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
Mention this thing has limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
Yeah, okay. Guess that makes sense, but people actually fall for this?
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
Right, makes sense. I'll put it to good use.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Okie dokie. Quartz! Yay! Thanks for coming online. So yeah, it's like a cloak of invisibility. Maybe more like, was it polymorph juice? Poly juice? Everyone falls for that shit, right? Alrighty. Got it. Go. Okay. Ooh, we got a window seat of the planet. Well, before we go anywhere, we need to check out the captain's quarters and stuff. Right? Buddy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
Ali May reckons I might give away my position when looting whilst wearing the hologram thingy. It's possible, but I still might be able to get away with it. We'll find out. So, what do you think of my ship?
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120,
Mm-hmm.
A2 model, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, correct.
The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
This is the ship's computer. It's not intelligent, but it does a good imitation.
So you're gonna call her it, not she?
Though my voice is currently pitched to suggest female, I possess no gender. Any pronoun preferred by the user is acceptable.
Hello, I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
Well, I'm impressed. So what do you think, Pavati? Is it safe to fly now that we got the regulator?
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches.
All right.
You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
Awesome. Can I do it with my plasma pistol? Did you learn your trade from your father? It sounded like it when you were talking to Reed.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all of my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
Me? I don't see the humor.
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
But you're actually good at this, and you seem to like it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
Alrighty, so after school you moved straight back to Edgewater?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I'd noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Good. He wasn't that old, was he?
No, but a whole life taking care of Edgewater by his lonesome, working with all kinds of chemicals, it wears on a body. When I left for school, everything got harder for him. I used to help him lift the heavy things, and my hands didn't shake for the fine detail work.
Okay, did you get much time with him after you got back from school?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know. I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Yeah, we've been up there. Let's go upstairs. Some of these rooms. Go get this holographic shredder. Captain's quarters. Hey, we got a nice view. Is pretty, and it would also be terrifying, like pretty and terrifying at the same time. Holographic shroud. Wink. Holographic shroud projects a disguise on you and your companions. Gives you access to restricted areas provided you have the correct ID cartridge for that area. Restricted areas are off limits to unauthorized personnel and otherwise result in being attacked on sight. Okay. On the terminal. Welcome, Captain. Messages for Alex Hawthorne. Hawthorne's... and I hope there's any Hawthorne's unread messages. From Bedford. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message, silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of a Singularity Steed. About a dashing space pirate with a heart of exactly board approved, so you don't go showing it around to your spacer buddies. Use you whilst you're out adventuring. Any similarities to certain someone are unintentional. Logs. Trick Ray. Note to self, remember this later. No better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask that? Back to my point, I saw in actuality with my own two eyes a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells's lab, just sitting there for the taking. If the grey hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe, or if I had asked a smidgen more nicely. He called it a shrink ray, but wouldn't let me test it. Wouldn't let me test it. Claim after I lost my temper. That claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that just push the boundaries of the mind and science's cutting edge, but I figured they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Wells's shrinkway firsthand is enough to make a fella wonder if there's more to the rumors. Right? Hammer power. The last time I got sloshed, I mean, I was imbibing at the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Udom was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on two Mardets yammering on about a mad scientist some years back who'd claimed he'd made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us had ever heard of that one before. But here's the good part. The Mardets said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power or something similar. A strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat. Or fits the bill. It could be another one of the weapons that inspired Wells's, right? Black market leads. Why? Why won't Wells just give the shrink ray to me? Blast him to the depths of labyrinth on TARDIS and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times, but architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet. Even if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does it mean? What does it even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hardworking folks in the colony, like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect that? Exactly. I have to wait for Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. Meanwhile, I've been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to others of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check the black market merchants on the Groundbreaker in Fallbrook. Archive messages. Oh, fucking hell. I'm not reading all that. It's too long. Better things to do. Anyway, we've got goals now to acquire some science weapons. The science weapons have cool effects and stuff.
Captain.
Probably a good time to pause here. We shall continue another day in another episode. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Tell your mum I said hi.